In this video, I'm going to walk you through a simple, easy to follow curly hair routine for beginners. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Gina and I make videos all about naturally curly hair, and I really try and simplify things so that way anyone at any skill level can achieve healthy hair. This routine is going to be using all drugstore products, and I'm actually going to be using the products from the Not Your Mother's Curl Talk line, mainly because I think this is a great starter line for beginners and it works for all hair types. I'm also going to recommend some other favorite drugstore products of mine if you didn't want to get the Curl Talk line, so that way you have some other options. So let's go ahead and get started with the routine. So I actually prefer to dry detangle my hair just to reduce breakage. So I've already detangled when my hair was dry. I have a video all about how to do that. So now I'm just getting it wet. And I do like to further detangle a little bit with some conditioner first. So I'm using the Not Your Mother's Curl Talk 3-in-1 conditioner. I don't have a lot of tangles left, but I'm just running my fingers through my hair gently. I don't like to go in with shampoo on super tangly hair. It's just harder to get your scalp clean when you have tangles in the way. So now it's time for shampoo. I'm using the Not Your Mother's Curl Talk Curl Care shampoo. This is a great lathering shampoo. This is about the amount I like to start off with, and I like to massage that into my scalp. You can add more water if you don't find that it's giving you enough of a lather. Just add some more water and then keep scrubbing. This is completely optional, but you can use a shampoo brush like this one from Amazon. This has really soft teeth on it and it helps to loosen up any buildup on the scalp and exfoliate. Just be very gentle because you don't want to cause any excess shedding. So I'm just going in with a second round of shampoo to make sure my scalp is nice and clean. If you can scrub your scalp and still have a little bit of product buildup on your nails, then make sure that you go in with another layer of shampoo to make sure everything is good and clean. And if you'll notice, I really like to focus the shampoo on my scalp. I don't really shampoo the ends of my hair, but once I rinse the shampoo out, that shampoo does go over the lengths of my hair, and that just helps prevent dryness and breakage on the ends. I also wanted to mention that this is a sulfate-free shampoo, but the particular surfactant ingredients that are in this shampoo do have the ability to remove silicone. So if you're using this routine as your first wash day and starting the curly girl method and you want to stop using silicones and start using sulfate-free shampoos, this is a great option for that because it can remove that old silicone buildup, and it's also sulfate free, so it's not going to be too harsh on your hair. And because I like to detangle my hair before I shampoo, my hair actually is pretty detangled right now, so I'm able to run my hands through it. So I just do that very gently just so I can get out of the shower. Then I scrunch my hair to get out the excess water, and I'm going to wrap it very, very loosely using my hair repair towel. This towel is not going to cause any breakage or cause any frizz. So now I'm out of the shower and ready to apply my deep conditioner. And the reason I like to get out of the shower to apply it is because I like to let my deep conditioner set for about 20 minutes, and I'm not going to stay in the shower for 20 minutes. So the deep conditioner I'm going to be using is from the Not Your Mother's Curl Talk line as well. I thought it would be easier just to show the entire line. This is their Curl Talk Deep Conditioning Curl Mask. This has superfood oil blends and sunflower seed extract for all hair types. This is a protein-free mask, so you cannot overdo it with this mask. It's just going to give you moisture. It's good to do it about once a week. I like to alternate between a moisturizing mask and a protein mask. Here's an example of a protein mask. This is from Shea Moisture, another really great drugstore affordable brand. This is the Jamaican Black Castor Oil Strengthen and Restore Treatment Mask. So if you are transitioning your hair, recovering from heat damage, if you have a lot of breakage and split ends, this is going to be great for that. This has Jamaican Black Castor Oil in it, shea butter, peppermint, and apple cider vinegar. This might weigh down your hair if you have extremely fine hair, so go easy on it, or apply it before your shampoo if you find that deep conditioners really weigh down your hair. But I'm just going to apply some more water to the lengths of my hair where it started to dry. So now we're gonna go in with the mask. So that's about how much I'm gonna use on my entire head. This is great at detangling, so if you weren't able to detangle after your shampoo in the shower, then I would just wait until you get out and detangle with your deep conditioner. If it looks super white on your hair, then make sure you add some more water to your hair. If your hair is too dry when you're applying any type of product, then you don't have enough water in it and you'll see that white residue. Also just wet your hands. And yes, I still shed at every step of my hair routine. It's just the nature of curls. Our loose hairs get stuck in our hair. They don't fall out as easily as someone with straight hair. So you're seeing them all come out as you comb through your hair and wash your hair. So once that is fully coated, I'm going to go ahead and clip up my hair. You can leave it like this if you want, or you can apply a plastic shower cap. It also helps with the heat of your head to trap in that heat so that the heat can help the deep conditioner penetrate and absorb into your hair strands. You can also use a heated heat cap. So I'm gonna set the timer on my phone to about 15 minutes. I'm gonna let this set and then we will come back and rinse it out. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take this off and rinse off using warm water. I'm just going to rinse over my tub. I'm obviously not gonna get back in the shower. I just went and did my makeup while it was sitting. I love doing my makeup while my deep conditioner sets, and I'm just really careful when I'm leaning my head over the tub to not get my face wet. I have found that warm water will actually help dissolve that conditioner and remove it better, so that will prevent your hair from getting weighed down or greasy from using a deep conditioner. Make sure you rinse it out completely, and also make sure you get your roots really good when you're rinsing it out, because if you are rinsing out upside down like I am, then sometimes it's hard to get right here at the top section, so make sure you're rinsing that really well with warm water. I will be right back once I finish rinsing. So I just wrapped my hair very, very loosely, like I just have it around once and lay it like that. And the reason I do that is because I like to damp style, and that just means that I don't like to apply my products when my hair is dripping and soaking wet. It just dilutes the product so much. You don't get near as much hold. You might get more curl clumps and ringlets by doing it that way, but I have such low density hair that I need the volume, so it does really help me to apply my products to damp hair. It's a lot easier too, and it's a lot less messy. My hair's still wet, but the roots have been blotted by loosely wrapping it like this. So my roots are not gonna take forever to dry. It cuts down on the dry time so much, so you're not gonna be diffusing your hair forever. It's really not good for your hair to just be trying to get it completely dry when it's stopping wet. So that's the main reason why I have done a video comparing damp versus wet styling, and I show you my results after 2 routines side by side, so you can check out that video if you're not sure which method is best for you. So after rinsing out that deep conditioner, my hair feels super soft. It feels like it still has conditioner in it, but it doesn't. I did make sure to rinse it out very good. If your hair doesn't feel soft after using a deep conditioner, it could be a couple of things. One being that your hair might have buildup on it. If you didn't get your hair fully clean when you were washing it, it's just gonna feel sort of gummy and gunky. So if your hair is very dry, then you could go in with a leave-in conditioner. I do have the one from the Curl Talk line. I really like this leave-in conditioner, or you can also use that same 3-in-1 conditioner that I already showed you that we used before our shampoo. That can be used as a leave-in. I would only use a tiny bit though, and I would apply that to soaking wet hair and then scrunch out the excess water, and that will help give your hair some lasting moisture. But I don't find that I need to use a leave-in if I just use such a moisturizing deep conditioner like that Curl Talk one. Super moisturizing. My hair is super soft and I don't have a ton of wet frizz. If you're not sure what wet frizz is, check out the video that I did all about wet frizz and you'll see what I'm talking about. But if you are suffering from wet frizz or it looks dry and frizzy after rinsing out your hair, then go in with a leave-in conditioner. So now I'm gonna go in with the Not Your Mother's Curl Talk Defining Cream. A cream is really important to provide moisture underneath your gel or your mousse. Gel and mousse are products that you use at the last step of your routine to help give your hair hold and structure and make it last all week. If you don't start off with either a leave-in or a cream, your hair could dry out on next day hair, especially if you live in a very dry climate. Make sure you have that base layer of cream first. This is also gonna help create curl clumps and help give you defined curls underneath your gel. So I also wanted to mention that I do sometimes wet down the lengths of my hair if they dry too much in my towel. You don't wanna have dry ends and wet roots or vice versa. You want your hair to be evenly wet. So if you notice your ends are starting to dry, spritz your hair down with some water in a spray bottle or just wet your hands. Now I'm going in with about that much on the other side. And I like to apply my products upright because that just helps me make sure that my scalp is fully covered and I don't get any weird areas in the back because I have low density hair. And I do other things to help give myself volume that I will show you in a minute. This is not my all-time favorite cream because my hair is pretty dry and that sort of tacky texture that it has can be a little bit difficult to work with. So I did want to give you guys another option if you don't care about getting everything from the same line. This is the Shea Moisture Curl Enhancing Smoothie. This is a classic. So many people have used this before. It normally comes in a big tub, but this is just a little 3.2 ounce bottle of it. It's easier to use this way. A little goes a long way, especially if you have fine hair. You don't want to use too much. My hair is medium to coarse though, so I can get away with using a little bit heavier creams, and I actually need a little bit more moisture sometimes. So for my part, I like to keep it kind of messy. That just helps me with volume. And I like to also make sure it kind of goes back right here at the crown. And that helps cover my scalp. I also like to pull up like this to help with volume. So now I'm gonna take my Be Hairful brush. This is also a styling brush, so it's really great to create defined ringlets. You don't have to do this by any means, but it does really help if you struggle to get defined curls because it will help give you ringlets. Just look at these results. See how it gives you that nice ribbon-like curl? I've done a video before comparing this brush to the Denman brush. Those are two really great defining brushes. I recommend checking that out because depending on the look you're going for, you might want to use the Denman brush versus the Be Hairful brush. And I pick up flat sections like this just to help with more separation because I don't want my curls to clump together too much or else I don't have as much volume. So here's one of my biggest tricks for volume around the crown area. Just pick up a horizontal section like this. And then I take my brush, and I brush it up and away from the scalp. I also take the brush and I twirl it over the rounded edge of the brush like this to help with curl definition and go straight up. That helps cover my scalp. Then on the sides, I usually pick up vertical sections and lift up and away from the scalp to help with volume. So I don't do my whole head, I just go around and do some pieces around the top because it just helps save time. Okay, if your hair is starting to dry, just spritz some water. So now I'm gonna go in with the Not Your Mother's Curl Talk mousse. I usually prefer a gel, but I really don't like the gel as much from this Curl Talk line. You could try it out if you want to, but it's too sticky and doesn't give me enough hold. So I am gonna use the mousse. This is one of my favorite mousse products. This says it has a level 2 hold, but I actually think it has a strong hold, or maybe I just used a lot of product. This also has humidity protection, so it's going to be great in the summertime or if you really struggle with frizz and lasting curls. And since I'm trying to give you other drugstore options with each category, this is a gel I've really been liking lately from Dove. This is from their Amplified Textures line. This is the Shine and Moisture Finishing Gel. You can check out my last drugstore hair routine. I will link it down below where you can see how I use the curl enhancing smoothie with this, and I got the best results in so much volume. Really like this gel, especially if you have trouble with tangles in your hair. This has a lot of slip to it. It's very moisturizing, and I loved my next day hair when I used this combination. So I'm just gonna scrunch the mousse in. If I were to be using a gel, I would probably rake and smooth that in just like I did the cream actually before I used the brush, and then use the brush to define curls with the cream and the gel in. You can also scrunch in your gel after you define your curls with the brush, whichever way works for you. You just wanna make sure you evenly coat it though. If you end up with any random frizzy patches, it's probably because you missed an area. So brushing it through afterwards can really help with that. And you might be wondering, why am I breaking up the curl clumps that I just created? But after I scrunch, they actually come back. It does help me get more volume if I just separate a few of them with my hands by raking it through before I actually scrunch. So when you are applying your products, you want to make sure that you hear that squishy sound in your hair when you are scrunching. That means you have enough water in your hair. So one thing I like to do in the back, just to make sure my scalp is completely covered, is I will just sort of rake and shake the curls right there at the roots just to separate any clumps right there, and then I will scrunch. So now I wanted to show you how I like to microplop, which is just a term that means you take your hair repair towel or your cotton t-shirt and you use that to absorb any excess water that is lingering in your hair. It can also absorb excess product if you think you applied too much, and it helps speed up the drying process. Keep in mind though that this does usually remove some product, and if you're struggling with keeping product in your hair or you find that your hair just dries frizzy after diffusing, then I would skip this step. Or what you can do, which is my favorite method, is scrunch out the excess water and then go in with a second very light layer of your gel or mousse just to tame any areas that got frizzy or that you know are going to end up drying frizzy. Also, this towel is still pretty wet. There's a lot of water in this towel, which is actually going to help prevent it from absorbing too much product. So here is how my hair looks wet. It's already starting to form a cast. You don't want to wait too long before you go in and diffuse, or else it's going to be hard to get shrinkage if you're wanting your curls to curl up more. Make sure you go right in and diffuse now. I have a video all about how I like to hover diffuse and plop diffuse. I will link it for you down below so you can actually see how I diffuse. But here's the diffuser I'm going to be using. This is the Infinity Pro by Conair. This is super affordable on Amazon. I love it because it doesn't get too hot. It has a really nice diffuser with good teeth, so you can use these to get volume right at your roots. So I'm gonna go ahead and diffuse off camera. Like I said, check out that video I mentioned, link down below to see actually how I diffuse. And I will be back once my hair is completely dry. So I'm now finished diffusing my hair, and at this point it feels like it's about 95% dry, and that just means that I feel a little bit of dampness in certain areas, so I'm just gonna let it finish air drying. I usually like to let it sit for a little bit, anywhere from just another 10 or 15 minutes while I go and do other things, or even sometimes I will just leave it like this. This does have that cast in it from the mousse, which is good because that's what's going to give us some hold. So now that my hair is completely dry, my hands are also dry, I don't have any sticky product residue on them, now I can scrunch and fluff out my hair. If you don't like that crunchy look and you want more volume, then this is what you would want to do. If you want your hair to last longer and you want humidity protection and frizz protection, then I would skip this step. As you can see, that gives a lot more volume when you do that. I don't scrunch out all of the crunch, but most of it, because I do want it to look softer and not super hard. A good gel or mousse will allow you to scrunch it out and it won't lose too much hold and it won't look bad after you scrunch out the crunch, and it will also hold in moisture. If the gel or the mousse is not right for you, then it might flake when you scrunch it out, or all the product might disappear and it look like you have nothing on your hair. So you want that good balance of strong enough hold but also that soft look. So here's what the back looks like. Mousse always tends to give a lot of volume and you get that more separated look, whereas gel, sometimes you can get more clumps and get a more defined look. So that is it for this wash day routine and beginner tutorial. I hope that you found this helpful. I will also link you to a blog post down below where I'm going to summarize all of the steps so that way you have a written guided instruction that you can follow to help you when you are starting your curly hair journey and learning how to actually put a routine together. So hopefully you will find that helpful. I will have the link down below for that, as well as links to all the products that I mentioned, the ones that I used today, as well as the other ones that I also recommended from the drugstore. So that is it for this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you have not already. I would love to have you join my YouTube family, and I hope to see you back next week. Bye everyone.